Hey everyone, welcome to Monday Must-Sees. My name is Joanne, and every Monday I hop on Instagram and talk about one of my favorite cities. So I am in the Halloween mood today, and I am going to be talking about one of my most favorite cities, which is Salem, Massachusetts. There's a couple reasons that I love Salem. The first one is it's a very historical city, and they actually have painted in the town this like red line that you can follow, and it will take you to a lot of historical and important attractions. It's definitely known for the Salem witch trials as well. And then, of course, the third part that I really love about Salem is it's where Hocus Pocus was filmed. And let's be honest, I've seen Hocus Pocus like 10 times already this month and have another 10 times before Halloween. So I've got my Salem mug, got my cool Salem sweatshirt. I am ready to just tell you a little bit about all the must-see tourist attractions. So let's go ahead and get started. So the way that Monday Must-Sees works is I'll tell you like a must-see hotel and must-eat at place and some must-visit attractions. And I will save this all as an Instagram highlight so you can go back whenever you're ready to make that trip to Salem. You've got all the information. I'll also include some different swipe ups if you're interested in learning more about a place immediately. That I'll just put down swipe up so you know that you can check it out right from that link. Asked my audience just a couple different questions about Salem to find out what's everyone's history with the city, and I'm going to post that here. Start with your must-stay hotel, and that is definitely going to be the Hawthorne Hotel. There's a lot of great hotels in Salem, but if this is going to be your first trip there, you definitely want to stay at the Hawthorne. It was built back in the 1920s, so it's a historic location. It is like in the heart of everything. You cross the street and you're on Essex, which is like the main pedestrian street through town. So definitely for your first trip, you want to go there. They've got an excellent restaurants inside too. Must visits if you're going to Salem, especially in October, looking for the Halloween witchy type of feeling. There's a couple different places that you're going to be interested in going, and they have very similar names, so it can be kind of hard to keep them straight. So here's a crash course on that. So the first one is going to be the Witch Dungeon, and this is one that I would highly recommend. They actually do like a live reenactment of the Salem witch trials, and I felt like I learned a lot more about that than I did in any history class. So I'll put a link here so you can check them out. So the second one is the Salem Witch Museum, and this is going to be like the first one that you see when you get into town. There's a big statue like at the intersection there that everybody thinks is a witch, and it's actually not a witch, but that's kind of how you know like, hey, you've really truly arrived in Salem. So the Witch Museum is going to have a narrative version, and then they have an exhibit in the back which is about like the history of witches, which is really cool as well. So definitely check them out too. And the third one is called the Witch House. And now this one's the only one that actually was there during the Salem witch trials. It's the home of a former judge from the Salem witch trials. So a lot of people think that they're going and seeing like a spooky house or like a haunted house or something because it's called Witch House, but it actually is just a house of somebody that was a judge. So you're not getting anything spooky there. It's more for the history side for that one, but definitely also worth the venture if you're into history. Must-see history though, that is going to be going to the Salem Witch Trials Memorial, and what this is a bunch of stone benches. There's 20 of them, representing one for each of the people that was killed being accused of being a witch, and it will say the person's name and how they were killed. So most of them were done by hanging. There is one that does say that he was pressed to death though. When you are walking through there, it has a bit of a cemetery feel, even though it's not a cemetery. There's nobody buried there, but very somber place, and you'll typically see somebody like leaving candles or roses on top of those benches. So if you're going there for the Salem witch trials and all the witchy stuff, this is definitely the place where you want to go pay your respects. For your must ride with, this is going to be the Salem trolley. So as a heads up, it's a little bit pricey. It's $20 for adults, but I found that it's definitely worth it. They do such a great job with the commentary. Salem's a very walkable city, but there are some areas that you just probably wouldn't want to walk on your own, and because it's such an old city, like parking's a little bit tougher as well. So I would definitely recommend to do this to get a lay of the land. If it's your first time to Salem, you could pick it up right outside the visitor center. For your must tour with, this is going to be called Spellbound Tours, and they are a ghost walk. And sometimes with ghost walks they can be a little bit cheesy, but this group, they actually take it serious while still having some great entertainment, so you feel like you're learning some stuff as well. I've done a lot of different ghost tours in the city, and this one would definitely be my #1 choice because I always feel like I've accomplished something and learned something after I do it. So I'll put a link here as well for you to check them out too. And for a different type of must-see, so where you must be spooked at, is going to be the Old Burial Point. And this is a really old cemetery that's in town. It's got the judge who was responsible for the Salem witch trials, as well as a bunch of other historical graves. So just walking around the historic cemetery is a really cool and really unique experience, and I would definitely add that in as well. Even if cemeteries aren't your thing, it's just so old and so cool to check out. If you do a ghost walk, they'll probably take you there too. You're only in Salem, this is a little bit of pop culture, but they actually have a statue for a very famous television witch, and I don't mean Sabrina, I mean Samantha from the old Bewitched series. So you can go get a picture taken with the statue. It's free to do, and pretty much anytime I go, like no matter what time of day, there's always people there taking pictures. Like, it is such a popular thing to do when you're in Salem, so definitely make sure that it's on your Salem bucket list. Now for a different type of must-see as well, this is actually going to be a must-read, and this is must-read before you arrive, The House of Seven Gables, and it's probably something that you read back in like middle school, but the actual house, it's called the Turner Mansion, and it's located in Salem. You can do tours there. Beautiful old house. I mean, it's from the 1600s. It's truly stunning. Definitely before you go though, give the book a refresher, just so you can appreciate it even more. Place is going to be Willows Park, and this was a place that actually I didn't even know about till I took the trolley tour I was talking about earlier, because it's a bit further away from everything else walking distance, but it's a park, it has a beach, it's a really cool place just to hang out. Now for your must eat, I've got 3 different recommendations. Your breakfast, your must start the day, is going to be at Fountain Place. They make amazing Belgian waffles, and I would recommend to get them with the Oreo topping because it is fabulous. Your must-eat meal is going to be across the street from the Bewitched statue, and that is at a place called Rockefeller's. They make amazing everything, like their hamburgers are probably one of my favorites, but I would actually recommend to go to them for the flatbreads because I think that those are exceptional there. Now for the most important meal, your must-eat dessert is going to be from Ye Olde Pepper Company, and this is a candy place that's been around for like 200 years. They've got a really special recipe for their fudge. I would personally recommend their Rocky Road fudge, but they also do have like a bag o' witches, which is a little chocolate bag as well, that is shaped like witches. If you're looking for a really cute Salem souvenir, that's probably one of the most creative things and one of the most special as well. Your do it for the gram is going to be going to Chestnut Street, and it's kind of weird to say to go to Salem and your like do it for the gram is not going to be something related to witches, but Chestnut Street is considered to be like the most beautiful street in America. It's gorgeous. It has a bunch of old houses on it. It is just such an adorable place that you could really walk around and enjoy all the houses. One thing really cool about the houses there, just because it's so old, you'll see that they have doors and then they've got like these little panels to the side of them, and because back so many years ago, they would hold funerals inside of houses, so you needed to have a little bit of extra doorway to get coffins in and out. So these doors are a little bit bigger than doors that you'll traditionally see in modern day houses, which makes that area really unique. You don't have to go take pictures of the doors, but you can get some really cute houses. In the fall, like the leaves are just different colors. It is such a stunning, adorable street. You will love going to take pictures there. Your must shop place is Emporium 32, and there's a ton of really great souvenir shops in Salem, but what I love about this place is that they've got the quirky items, the souvenir items, the cute items, the cool items, the witchy items, like anything that you're thinking of, they've probably got it there. Now for a crash course on something I know that brings a lot of tourists to Salem, and that is the Hocus Pocus filming location. So Hocus Pocus was filmed in Salem back in like the 1990s, and everybody, including myself, is guilty of watching this movie a million times for Halloween. So let me tell you just like what the locations are that you can go check out. So the first one I want to start with is Allison's home. It looks identical on the outside to how it did look back at the time, and part of that is because it's a historical landmark. It's called Mansion, and the inside is available for tours, but also you can just go around to the side, and there's a beautiful garden to the side of it as well. So I'll post a picture then and now so you can see what it looks like. So next is Max's house, and there's conflicting reports on the internet. If you do like a search for Salem Hocus Pocus locations, you might end up pulling up the wrong address. So the one that is Max's house is called 4 Ocean Avenue. Be aware, it is a private house, so don't go like knocking up and taking pictures and walking all over the property. Please be respectful of that. It is somebody's house, but it does look identical to what it did look like in the movie. It's got that really cool top on it as well. If you do go on the internet and you find the wrong address, you're going to find like it takes you to a place that is a white house, and it just doesn't look fully the same, and you're kind of disappointed because it isn't what it is. Make sure that you're going to the 4 Ocean Avenue. Like when you're there, you will know 100% that you're at the one from the right movie, and I will post the picture then and now so you could see what it does look like today. Their school is what's called PHILLIPS Elementary School. It's no longer used as a school, and it has a different name in the movie, but it is right next to the Hawthorne Hotel, and then actually right across the street is Salem Common, and this is the park that's for kind of like the exit out to the school when Max and Allison like had that first conversation, and Allison gave Max back her phone number. That happened in that park. And then there's one other location that's like just very close to there, and this is the City Hall, and this is where like the Halloween party took place that all the parents were at. So you can easily get between those three locations quickly, especially if you're staying at the Hawthorne Hotel. There are two other movie locations to be aware of. One is going to be the cemetery. Those scenes took place in a nearby town called Marblehead if you're up for taking a little road trip. And then the other one, like in the intro, they are flying over this like little village area from the olden days. That's the Pioneer Village. It's open occasionally, like very seasonally, so there's a chance if you're going there like around Halloween, you won't be able to see it. But that's where that scene took place too. And finally, I've got two detour areas. So the first one is going to be going to Fall River in Massachusetts, and this is where the LIZZIE Borden house is. Just be aware, I mean, this is over like an hour drive to get out to it, but if you're going for the Halloween type of feel, definitely LIZZIE Borden is an addition that you want to do. At the LIZZIE Borden house, you can go on a tour, or you can even stay. It's a bed and breakfast, but it's just such an impressive place, and something that's really unique about it is, so you can go and tour the house, but they actually have photos posted from the actual like crime scene there, so you get a really unique experience than just going somewhere where something like scary happened in the past. The other one is going to a cemetery that's in Concord, and they've got an area that's called Arthur's Ridge, and it's got all these famous authors buried there, such as Nathaniel Hawthorne, Henry David Thoreau, Louisa May Alcott, Waldo Emerson, and it's kind of a tradition when you go there to like leave a pen at one of their graves as well. So just like, you know, run to the dollar store beforehand, pick up a couple pens, and leave them at these graves. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of Monday Must-Sees. Thank you so much for watching. The first thing I want to know is, after learning all this about Salem, do you want to go visit Salem now? Also, let me know if you have any questions about Salem that I can help you out with so that you can have an amazing Salem vacation. And if you have a city that you want me to talk about, let me know. I've traveled to 83 countries, 47 states, and like thousands of cities. So I love talking travel, and I'm excited for next Monday when I can talk about another location.